Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon. We just had a sumptuous meal, so I need to feel the energy in the room before my keynote, or else I won't give a keynote. So good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Fantastic. My name is Vivian Onano, founder and director at Leading Light Initiative. I'm thrilled and humbled to be part of this year's edition of EurAfrica Forum under the theme, Empowering EU-Africa Alliance in Times of Disruption. I'm excited to be here in person and to see so many friends in the room too. Thank you to His Excellency Jose Manuel Barroso and Mr. Antonio Calzada for extending the invitation to participate at this important meeting. Our world today is not the same as it was 3 years ago when we last met in Kashkash in person. Who would have thought that a lockdown in Hong Kong would affect production in a country in Africa? COVID-19 pandemic and its ramifications made us realize and appreciate how interconnected we are in this globalized world. What affects Europe affects Africa too. And this is quite evident right now with the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. As a result of the war in Europe, international food and energy prices have skyrocketed and put pressure on national budgets and household income, while we're still dealing with the lingering effects of the pandemic. The relationship between Africa and Europe has never been more important than now. We have seen a record number of young people losing their lives while crossing the Mediterranean Sea in search of better opportunities in Europe. It is paramount for both continents to work together to address their economic challenges to ensure that opportunities are created for young people to thrive where they are without risking their lives. Africa has a population of approximately 1.4 billion people, and the majority of these are young people below the age of 30 years. This is human capital that needs to be harnessed through access to quality education, skills development, and transition to decent job or entrepreneurship opportunities. This huge population, if skilled and the purchasing power increased, could be a massive business opportunity for our European counterparts. If this population bulge goes unattended, it could lead to social unrest and become a liability. With the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, climate crisis, and the Ukraine-Russia war, sustainable growth is under threat. COVID-19 has had a severe impact in Africa, leading to economic regression, worsening inequalities, significant loss of productivity, high unemployment, and cases of social unrest, among others. Furthermore, the war is also disrupting trade, Europe being the largest trading partner with Africa, creating macroeconomic instability, inflation, and potential security challenges. In addition to that, Africa is already feeling the effects of climate change with the harsh environmental temperatures affecting agricultural productivity significantly. Climate crisis directly affects African economies, given that most countries rely on agriculture as the backbone of their economies. And the majority of the population are either directly or indirectly employed in the agricultural sector, hence addressing the challenges affecting this sector is integral to the growth and sustainability of our economies as we work to diversify. When COVID-19 hit the world, everything came to a standstill, and the inequalities that we have been living with within our societies were explicitly exposed. There was a clear divide between the haves and the have-nots. When more than 1 billion children were out of school globally, only a small percentage were able to continue with their education online. Most teachers in the rural and marginalized areas had to quickly learn how to use different forms of technology to continue engaging with their students. While this was happening in the education sector, most small and medium enterprises were struggling to survive too. Due to lockdowns, people were unable to be mobile, and unless your business had an online presence, then it was hard to reach your customers. Majority of women and youth lost their livelihoods as a result of this. and those who are able to digitize their work were able to earn an income. If there's one thing that the world has learned during COVID-19 pandemic, is that access to technology is paramount for our survival. It is the new currency. Digitization and access to technology is key to us achieving a sustainable and inclusive future. More than half of the world's population is connected to the internet, and Africa has more than 590 million internet users and approximately 800 million mobile phone subscribers. The penetration of digital tools and connectivity is changing the way of doing business and has great impact in the political, social, economic, and cultural transformations on the African continent. During the pandemic, I witnessed many young people pivot their ventures and explored incorporation of technology into their work to ensure that their businesses were kept alive. Instagram and Facebook became the real marketplaces to share expertise, sell products, market skills, and explore opportunities. Mobile banking such as M-Pesa enable people to easily and swiftly make transactions without having to leave their premises. And even with the current inflation, it is still much cheaper to use mobile banking compared to the commercial banks that have high interest rates and quite often need a lot of documentation that small and medium enterprises may not have. Mobile banking has allowed the people in the informal sector, which comprises the majority of Africans, to be able to save and invest their money, which is quite empowering. Access to technology and being able to efficiently maximize on it is a game changer when it comes to formalizing the informal sector, promoting inclusivity and addressing social inequalities, creating job opportunities, dissemination of information, and skills training opportunities. I strongly believe that to curb the ripple effects of this pandemic on people's lives, it is important to ensure that we continue to create decent jobs and support entrepreneurs so that even the most vulnerable can be able to live a meaningful life, and technology is the catalyst. A great example of this is the AU-EU Youth Hub initiative. It is supporting young entrepreneurs to create opportunities on the continent through the project Positive Planet. This is a Green Lab job creation pilot project across 5 African countries and with 8 incubators that focuses on accelerating entrepreneurs in agriculture and renewable energy. We also have initiatives such as the Afro Champions, which is an innovative multi-stakeholders platform that brings together intergovernmental institutions, government and private sector players, startups and SMEs to drive integration-related projects to scale. They work with businesses across the continent to help them grow and expand to block markets and bridge the gap between small and larger businesses by providing smaller businesses with information on global markets and training on how to grow their businesses. This has the potential to positively impact African economies, and such platforms are great vehicles for job creation. A solid example of their great impact is the development of Panabios. If you've been to Africa, you've definitely used Panabios during the pandemic. They brought startups together to develop tech solutions for vaccine and test verification during the pandemic. By bringing multiple stakeholders on a common platform has connected 24 countries in Africa and other regions in the world like EU, Australia, India, and the Gulf. As Africa continues to work on the implementation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement, this is a great opportunity to also strengthen our economies through greater integration, freer movement of people and goods, and attracting investment in infrastructure. The Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement is a great platform that provides entrepreneurs and small and medium enterprises with visibility, access to capital finance, and access to a larger and accessible market. In addition, every country trades with its own currency, making trade easier and manageable. Through the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement Hub initiative, Afro-Champions, in partnership with the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement Secretariat, has developed digital tools to provide market access, eliminate trade barriers, and create green jobs for SMEs and startups doing business across the African continent. I want us to remember that economies are driven by human beings. And our world today is more interconnected, and we need one another to thrive. The EU-Africa Alliance can only succeed, more so now in times of disruption, if we continue to engage as equals, have respect for diverse opinions, and leverage on the strengths of one another. Europe has the financial capital and latest technology, while Africa has the human capital and readily available large markets. Hence, this partnership has all the ingredients needed for us to build sustainable and prosperous economies without leaving no one behind. For us to fully harness our potential, we have to continue investing heavily in education and digital skills training based on the requirements of the labor markets, reduce the red tapes in doing business, create hubs to support young entrepreneurs, invest in smart agricultural practices to ensure that we can feed our societies, build resilient healthcare systems that can withstand future pandemics, implement a just energy transition, and open up our democratic spaces. For our economies to thrive, peace and security is critical, and we all need to strive towards strengthening the EU-Africa Alliance to ensure that both continents continue to build on their already established partnership for prosperity and inclusive development. Thank you.